What is sharing and using resources in a righteous, collective, loving manner? Well, every land, like I just talked about, has materials, right? No matter what materials it is, they have materials. They have a way of living. The Egyptians showed back in the day that you can bring materials to a dead land and create something of it, like real estate, or recover it in a way. So every land can be recovered. So that's the type of priority and help that you'd want. Not so much, can you give me food because I can't grow it? It's, can you help me with science and technology and equipment so we can grow it, and then we will pay you back. A little bit like a bank loan, right? Help us use our materials the best way we can, fairly, like you do, so we can connect and do it too. So we don't have to war and attack you, as every area can be recovered and be wealthy at certain times, right? And then allow the country, while they're getting wealth, always look ahead to what you're going to get next. Allows you to get time, right? That's like certain jobs people get and stuff like that, right? You need time, you need money to allow something, right? Well, like I talked about being sick, I'm using that as my benefit, but besides just staying sick, to try to get a goal done, right? Before I get healthy and I have to go back out into the real world, right? And select whatever I got. So I'm getting that content, talking, making things like you do when you're in hospital. You might make some paper things and stuff like that, and put my priorities in that area more than just to sit around and just do like some people do, whinge about being crook, just watch movies and play video games, which I've done before. But we all move on in different areas, and I decided to move on in ways and prioritize things that will slow me down in life and to move on, right, and to figure out things. So that's what pretty much we need to do out there in the end, is help countries. So countries war and countries want to do this. To when a war happens, you find out what's the problem. There's always a problem, and it's usually more than one problem, right? When wars happen, and you get through that. A lot of times people don't get through it is because of certain issues. Could be already previous bad issues they haven't healed through yet, or they just decided they're allowed to say no, and they said no, I don't want to do that. I'm happy to watch a movie right now. I might do it next week. That kind of decision making, right, of freedom that they've got, but they don't allow everyone else to have in the end collectively because of previous issues or envy and greed and stuff like that, right? Or control. I want to control you, so I'm not going to help you. No, I want you to suffer so I can come in and take it, or I'll come in with this, right? That's control. Connection, they don't need nothing. They have hope. They hope that if I help you and we do this deal and we go the right way, that it'll work out for all of us. You see, hope. If you don't have that, then you've got the greed, right? And you go, well, I gamble, right? I don't hope anything. I just take risk, right? You got that one, and that's part of greed, and that's not stupid. That's not wise thinking. That's stupid thinking, right? When you can have hope, which is more better. Which hope needs a plan, right? You have a plan and a way, and you hope for it, right? Gambling doesn't. Gambling's a one-off thing. I've got a feeling. This is what I'm going for. I can. It's what I do. Works out. All that kind of crap. So we go over to places like one country that is setting that example that I can use is the one overseas where they're building all the islands. I forget the name off the top of my head at the moment. Sorry about that. I was looking at them for a while ago, but I've been having a lot of things in my head, a bit of stress and that. I can't remember the country, but I'll explain. As I'm better with pictures than memory names and stuff, like when it comes to streets, I've told you. And so, off the top of my head, really quick, I can quickly describe what it is, and it might even come to me. And if someone was around, they could say, okay, there you go. I haven't had me blank on it, having a brain fart. Something simple. But anyway, this country has a lot of oil, right? And they build a lot of fancy buildings, and they're building islands all over the place. Australian island, palm tree islands, I don't remember all this. And they all doing their thing because they know when the oil runs out, they need something to continue. So they're doing that similar thing, right? but they're got to work with the economy and they're putting up the price because they want their plan to work out, but they're not working with others. So everyone gets the right outcome and work out exactly what resources they got, roughly what they can work out. And you go to the minimum. So when you look ahead and go, we roughly think there's this much in the ground, we'll go with the minimum, right? We want to hear a lower number than a higher number and have this outcome. So we can work off what we can, how much can we, if you value it this much money, how much is it all worth? Same when it comes to rock material and stuff like that. That's fair, right? That how much resources does this country really have? When we price off things, we can also go by their resources of how much they've got, right? To also be fair when it comes to materials. So like in games, when you sell materials when there's lots of it, it's cheaper, and then when you sell it when there's not much of it, it's dearer. Right? And so perhaps these countries can wait at certain times for other countries to sell off what they've got more off, right, at a cheaper rate, and you use that plan and that material for later on in an algorithm. Right? If you want to use algorithms, why don't you get your smart computers to work out these type of algorithms, right, of how to sustain the world and what materials are reusable and what's not. Algorithms, perfect, top computer brain, perfect for us to work out. First, we've got to get it to think about something and program it as we're God, and we're still doing that. Just like how humans can get downloads, as they say. And we had certain people have smart IDs that I've talked about before when it comes to getting downloads and want to give it to the people. When they get these downloads too, they have a thing where they want to give it to the people. And do you perhaps think that that might be an upgrade that's meant to be for all of us, right? Like certain people got when it comes to electricity and other resource areas, right? We get these downloads, but then they get taken away from these certain people because they're in a certain area and because they can't. And that's sad, isn't it? That's true. And we all know that's true. So there's a problem we need to fix, you see. And sharing information can fix that problem. Whoever gets the information can have a bonus, right? The birds agree with this. That means that God chose them and that country to have that gift, to have that bonus, right, of getting that gift. So they get a little bonus for it, like winning a reward, like they do in science. And everyone gets to share that gift when it comes to priority things that are necessary for the people. Things that are not necessary, people come up with, knock yourself out with your profit and your business, but necessary things need to be. That's what I believe. Like when it comes to main electricity is a necessary thing, we all use it, right? If we can create a way of making it for everybody, which is a machine, can create for free, right? If it's wireless, whatever, how you can transport it, becomes a government thing, you can all pay for it through that way. And the more you build that, the more you can build more. That's what building and freedom is, right? That you share and collect information. Holding it back is just making things get built not right. We're all on the same ship, right? And so it's best to work together in those priority areas. Holding them back, well, that's no good. You can try to hold it back as long as you want, get the upper hand if you want, but everything does come eventually out. And when it does, and you find out that you did hold back, well, shame on you, shame on that country for doing that in that area when it should have just been for all of us. We have an agreement. They're the agreements that people should be agreeing to all around the world to get done, to make life better, to make life easier. And we can have robots and stuff like that and start educating later on. First, we don't get the robots introduced into jobs or anything until the education can keep up with it, right? So that's when you're meant to introduce that. So when you introduce robots, we've got plenty of kids that can all repair them, fix them, or do something that the robots can do too. Thank you for stepping on the plant there, Frankie. I'm watching them today. See how they go. Usually when I yell at them, they're good for a while. Where does that line up, everybody? Right, and so they're up at an hour and he's hopping and popping there. Maybe they're watching and I'm watching them. I want to get to a point soon, which is, we can all only do so much and I'm the only one doing all this, so I don't have anyone helping me. So if it was two of me and someone helped me, this would be done by now. But it's by myself, so I'm nearly there. I have an illness to have time. I don't have all resources, so I've got to wait for time to get some resources, which I've been getting. So I'll check this out. playing around with what I should do up here. And I thought I'd get these for down to $3.50. They're usually $8, $12. It all depends on the pricing on there. If you look straight away, you can pay up to $12. You got money, you might want to do that. You can get them down to $3.50. Some usually when if you want to take certain colours instead of they've got a whole big colour selection. So you pay high prices because there's plenty there. You can get as many as you want. Like I said about pricing, but sometimes it can be ridiculous. That's what we're looking at. I was thinking about getting a few more of these to go around the edge there. I just noticed it takes about 4 to do half, so it'll take 8 of them to go away around. And when it comes to the flowers, I can't do everything. I can make a flower if I wanted to, but it takes more time and more fiddling. I haven't got time for $3.50 me to try to do that at the moment. The resources and the tools I got, it's not worth it, right? And so I'm doing the best I can with the left of the resources. I got it at a cheap price, like I just discussed. It was not much of it, right? And I pick and choose and run around in that area. I've got time to do that when you're cooking. Do that, right? Instead of playing a video game, right? Where do you want to spend your time, and will it be worth for you to do that? And that's what I've done. And so I'm hoping the next time I've got some money, I can see if I can get a similar deal to that. Sometimes you can get it cheaper, but then sometimes I don't. When I go to look back, I might have to pay $4 for them, or $5, right? Because they can be up to 12 or 10 at least that I've seen on there a lot, and $9. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Have a good one, everybody. And it's all about working together with resources and what we can do. And the more we do that and get along, the more we'll have to really succeed. And I think the ultimate goal is not to, you don't have to just believe that there's a God watching, right? There's definitely rules, right? And rules of connection and ways of being better. And in the end, the God, the rule, the thing that's the ultimate mind blower, why we're here and all that, is that it shows you that you thrive more with plenty of plenty. And to get plenty of plenty is a better connection. Right? These animals, you watch all the animals, they all found their spot. They don't kill for pleasure. They got rid of envy and greed, most of them. The ones that have got it are very small numbers, right? To help keep another little balance. Because sometimes envy and greed can push a person and really pushing and stuff like that. But you don't want too much of something that's bad. And envy and greed is bad if you have too much of it. Envy is a good thing. You have a little bit of it because it helps you go, oh, I want that. I'll work hard for it. You need that a little bit. Too much of it is, I want that. I'll do anything for it. Even if I do them over by stealing it. I can just have it. It's quick. I'm really envying it. I need it now with greed. Right? Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Have a good one and see you later.